Hello and welcome to an abridged version of the news at 10. Tonight, the nation is few hours away from the emergence of another set of a National Working Committee of the All Progressives Congress, with over 7,000 delegates at the convention ground in Abuja electing the new leadership. Senate caucus of the National Assembly backs the candidacy of former Governor of Nasarawa State Abdullahi Adamu as consensus candidate for APC National Chairmanship. Terrorists in their hundreds invade Kaduna International Airport runway through the perimeter fence, killing the staff of the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency. And Russian forces target western Ukrainian city of Lviv as several explosions are heard near the city as President Joe Biden was visiting nearby Poland. We apologize for the interruption to the news at 10. The All Progressives Congress National Convention continues on our DSTV platform. Well, let's begin tonight, of course, with the much anticipated National Convention of the APC, which has finally gotten off the ground with the arrival of the president at the Eagle Square in the nation's capital, Abuja, a while ago. Over 7,000 delegates from the 36 states of the Federation and the FCT are attending today's convention, which promises to be a long night. Well, all of the chairmanship aspirants have now stepped down for the consensus candidate for that position as former governor of Nasarawa State, Abdullahi Adamu. Now, one of the highlights of today's National Convention of the APC is the rendering of account of stewardship by the outgoing chairman of the Caretaker Committee of the party and the governor of Yobe State, Mai Mala Buni. He told the gathering that under his watch, the party membership rose to 41 million registered members. He also noted that 37 governors defected from the PDP to the APC.
I'm glad to state, with all sense of fulfillment, the membership registration and revalidation exercise recorded over 41 million members who registered with the details of their permanent voters' cards and passport-size photographs. This unprecedented increase in membership from the previous 11 million registered members to over 41 million registered members provides the party with an added advantage of winning elections in Nigeria with landslide victories. APC under the Caretaker Committee made history with an unparalleled record of high-powered defections into the party. 3 serving governors of Ebonyi State, His Excellency Engineer Dave Umahi of Cross River State, His Excellency Dr. Ben Ayade, and Zamfara State, Alhaji Bello Matawali defected along with millions of their supporters from PDP to the APC.
Now, while the National Convention of the APC is underway, some delegates and organizers say they are satisfied with the process so far. For the governors of Imo and Ekiti State, as well as the Minister of Transportation, all is well within the party. Our correspondent Terry Kumi looks at the activities before the commencement of the event.
It's D-Day for the ruling All Progressives Congress, as the stage is set to host the National Convention of the party amid speculations that it would not hold due to unresolved party issues. Security is beefed up around the Eagle Square, and the roads are littered with party faithful and vendors. Inside the Eagle Square, decorations are up. Voting points have been set up. The red carpet is laid for the president and the music is non-stop. After what seems like a long wait, delegates begin to fill up the arena. And in no time, the delegate stands for the different states are filled to capacity and the colors are beautiful. Members of the organizing committees are satisfied with the organization so far.
You know, when you have strangers in town, of course, the whole town has to be secured. The whole central area is just 5 hectares shown. So, but if you have Nigerians come into 5 hectares, of course, you know, there has to be some rules to guide the way people move.
Even the blind can see that we are ready and raring to go. So yes, I'm satisfied, and most of the APC members and supporters within the place are satisfied. Yeah, we have a tight security situation to come inside, but that is to be expected.
One after the other, dignitaries and VIP guests begin to arrive as well. Top party officials allay any fears of rancor, which may be the cause of the delayed start.
We disagree without being disagreeable, but we've come to the place we want to be. We want the convention to take place. Now the convention is taking place so that we can have an elected executive that is not susceptible to manipulations from courts or any other individual who do not want us to be on the ballot for the 2023 election.
If we're able to agree on consensus on any of the positions, it is allowed by our constitution. If we are not able to agree, it will be done by election. Neither of these will mean disagreement to the extent that it will affect the party negatively.
Is this different interests that are interacting amongst themselves that you can say, you can refer to as what you refer to as turbulence? We are gradually resolving it. The party is gradually taking a shape. The party has reached a solution that there will be consensus as far as the chairmanship and other positions are concerned. In that same manner, I'm sure that further or subsequent offices will be resolved in the manner where turbulence will be avoided.
Accreditation of the over 7,500 delegates expected was done at 2 separate venues, and the event, which was scheduled to commence at 3:30 p.m., does not commence until 8:25 p.m. when the president arrived. Party officials say aggrieved parties had been sorted out to pave way for a hitch-free ceremony. Terry Ikumi, Channels Television News.
Well, from national to state politics, the African Democratic Congress is vowing to field its candidate in the Osun State governorship election. That's despite the disqualification by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. Addressing a news conference in Abuja, the national chairman of the party, Mr. Ralph Nwosu, explains that the electoral body does not have issues with the candidate, but rather with the running mate.
They said ADC fielded a 33-year-old person as deputy governor, not as governor, as deputy governor. As you all are aware, ADC conducted their primaries and selected a governorship candidate. INEC doesn't have any issue with the governorship candidate, but the first nominee of the governorship person, I want to assure the people of Osun State, ADC will contest that election and ADC will win Osun State. I want to make that very clear. And I want to assure that from Osun, from the next set of elections that will happen in Nigeria, ADC will set clear trajectory to taking over this country because the country needs deliverance. And we are ready for it. We've been strategizing, we've been meeting with all stakeholders, and we're saying enough is enough with action. So there is no distraction from any source that will stop us. I'm assuring the people of Osun that ADC will contest the election and ADC will deliver Osun State to them.
And out of security, terrorists have attacked the Kaduna International Airport and shot dead a security guard attached to the facility. The victim, identified as Shehu Nala, was a staff of the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency, NAMA. Confirming the incident to Channels Television, the manager of the airport, Mrs. Amina Salami, explained that the terrorists invaded the airport through the perimeter fence from a nearby forest at about 1 p.m. today and started shooting sporadically to scare the workers away. The sound of gunshots attracted the attention of armed security operatives who arrived at the scene and were able to prevent the attackers from gaining access into the main airport complex. The attack also delayed a scheduled Lagos-bound aircraft from taking off from the Kaduna airport. But this attack comes less than 48 hours after about 50 people were reportedly killed and several others kidnapped in Giwa local government area located in the central senatorial zone of Kaduna State. Well, staying in Kaduna, before that attack on the airport, a bomb explosion had been reported at Hayin-Damani community in a Gabi local government area. It was gathered that improvised explosive device was planted in a motorcycle belonging to a point-of-sale operator in the area. But this incident comes barely 1 month after suspected terrorists planted a bomb at a hotel located in Kabala West area, also in a Gabi local government area of the state. We're given details on the latest blast. The state's Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Mr. Samuel Arwan, says after close of work, the POS operator went to pick up his motorcycle where it was parked, and upon starting the motorcycle, it exploded, injuring him and a passerby. And following the explosion, the personnel of the police anti-bomb squad went to the scene to remove the debris and also disable a second device planted in the motorcycle. Away from security to the petroleum sector, the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Mr. Timipre Silva, says that Nigeria is ready to offer its services as an alternative gas supplier to Europe. He was speaking during a meeting with a delegation from the European Union led by the Union's ambassador to Nigeria and ECOWAS, Mrs. Samuel Isopi. Mr. Silva says he wants the EU to increase investments in gas and hydrocarbons in Nigeria to be able to meet the bloc's energy needs.
We should please work together towards the future as partners, and that Nigeria will be very willing, and we are very well positioned to be a reliable partner, reliable supplier of energy to Europe. At this moment, we have 2 projects, one pipeline to Algeria, through Algeria to Europe. Actually, that pipeline is targeted for Europe because Algeria, I believe, is already linked up on pipeline with Europe. So if we link up with the Algerian network, we're already in Europe. That project, I would say, has already commenced because we in Nigeria have already started the Nigerian arm of it, the AKK pipeline, which is supposed to continue to Algeria. Then we have another planned project to Morocco, which is through the West African gas pipeline, through the sea. So if both pipelines are completed, then you can be sure that our gas here will be destined for Europe. So there are so many opportunities for us to work together. So many opportunities. And I want to assure you that we as a country are ready.
Well, still ahead on the news at 10, National Bureau of Statistics says over 2 trillion naira was generated as value-added tax in 2021. That's some business news. Join us again. Welcome back. The Nigerian Navy has flagged off the indigenous systematic survey of the Nigerian offshore waters and sea in order to enhance safe navigation for mariners, thereby boosting the socio-economic development of the country. The exercise being conducted on board the newly acquired hydrographic vessel NNS Lana will attempt to close the gap in uncharted courses in the country's maritime domain. Our correspondent Chris Elems reports.
60-meter-long newly acquired offshore survey vessel NNS Lano is said to be deployed for the reason it was commissioned on the 9th of December 2021. Get the Nigerian offshore waters and seas safe for navigation through the production of survey materials and charts for mariners who ply our waters.
The special guest of honor.
This is a major leap in the country's hydrographic journey, which is why this caliber of guests are gathered at the Nigerian Navy ship Beecroft in Lagos.
The sea remains the most veritable means of transportation that nations, individuals, and groups have exploited to prosper and become relevant. However, it is to be noted that a key requirement for use of this great common, which is the sea, is safety.
Referencing the Nigerian Navy Hydrographic Office of 2017, the hydrographer of the Navy says less than 1% of the country's coastal and offshore waters have charts with survey data of between 1 to 5 years.
The situation prompted the Nigerian Navy to develop a national surveying and charting plan in 2018 in order to focus federal government's effort towards a systematic survey and charting of Nigeria's coastal, offshore, and navigable inland waters.
Nigeria has a coastline of about 420 nautical miles and a sea area of about 84,000 square nautical miles. This, according to the Chief of Naval Staff, is a huge resources the country must explore.
Let me reiterate that today will go down in history as the day Nigeria finally began the process of taking ownership of the survey and charting of its coastal and offshore areas, which are critical to our socio-economic development, national security, and maritime defense, as well as the safety of navigation in our waters.
The Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, is particularly excited about the impact this indigenous survey and chart will have on the country's blue economic projects.
Completion of this survey and charting operation would equally boost confidence of most mariners to increase patronage of Lagos, Port Harcourt, and Calabar ports, just as the Warri, Sapele, and other ports that are hitherto operating at lowest level would be reactivated.
The operations on board the vessel include deployment of sound velocity profiler to measure the speed of sound in various layers. The side-scan sonar is for better and clearer acoustic images of objects such as wrecks on the seafloor.
This is the processing room. We have a lot of software for processing of hydrographic data.
The indigenous systematic survey of the Nigerian offshore waters and sea by the Nigerian Navy is meant to be a continuous exercise until the entire maritime space is properly charted and safe for mariners. Chris Elems, Channels Television News.
Welcome to Business News. 2.07 trillion naira. Well, that's the amount generated as value-added tax by the federal government for 2021, according to the National Bureau of Statistics. Well, this amount represents a 33% year-on-year increase in VAT revenue. That's when compared with 1.53 trillion naira generated in 2020. A further analysis of the data shows that VAT stood at 563.72 billion naira in the fourth quarter of 2021, represents no growth of 12.63% from 500.49 billion naira recorded in the third quarter. The Africa Development Bank says it plans to raise a $1 billion emergency food production initiative to avoid a food crisis on the continent triggered by Russia's invasion of Ukraine. According to the president of the AFDB, Mr. Akinwumi Adesina, the emergency food production plan will focus on rapidly boosting commodities output such as wheat, maize, rice, and soybean.
When COVID struck, we were not ready. But this time, we are fully ready. and we will avert a food crisis, and we will avert also the impact on inflation. But we do need the money to be able to very quickly intervene and get it done. The plan is to be able to produce roughly 30 million metric tons of food, and to get technologies into the hands of 20 million farmers. So you're looking at big scale with smallholder farmers.
And now to the foreign scene. Several explosions have hit the city of Lviv in western Ukraine, injuring 5 people. Lviv has so far escaped much of the Russian shelling that has come to be a part of daily life in other parts of Ukraine. It has also become a hub for hundreds of thousands of refugees fleeing other parts of the country. The attack came as U.S. President Joe Biden delivered a speech in Warsaw, Poland, some 250 miles from Lviv.
The Kremlin wants to portray NATO enlargement as an imperial project aimed at destabilizing Russia. Nothing is further from the truth. NATO is a defensive alliance. It has never sought the demise of Russia. My message to the people of Ukraine is a message I delivered today to Ukraine's foreign minister and defense minister, who I believe are here tonight. We stand with you, period. Notwithstanding the brutality of Vladimir Putin, let there be no doubt that this war has already been a strategic failure for Russia.
And welcome to the world of sports. The University of Port Harcourt River State has emerged the winner of the 26th NUGA Games that was rounded off this evening at the University of Lagos Sports Centre. At the conclusion of the 10th-day event, Uniport beats the host Unilag to the top position with a total of 120 medals comprising 61 gold, 29 silver and 30 bronze medals. Unilag finished second with 33 gold, 34 silver and 19 bronze, a total of 86 medals. Now University completes the top 3 with 15 gold, 10 silver and 13 bronze, winning 38 in total. For the first time, the champions Uniport were presented with a trophy for emerging the best overall institution. The University of Jos has now been handed the hosting right for the 2024 Games.
This trophy.
Nigeria's Falconets have qualified for the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup in Costa Rica. The Falconets beat Senegal 4-1 at the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium in the second leg of the final qualifying round. A brace from Floris Sebastian and a goal each from Esther Onyenezide and Joy Jerry gave the Falconets a well-deserved win. Coach Christopher Danjum's girls qualified 7-2 on aggregate. And the Super Eagles of Nigeria are back in the country to continue preparations for next Tuesday's second leg of the 2022 FIFA World Cup qualification playoff against the Black Stars of Ghana. The 3-time African champions arrived in the early hours of today after playing out a goalless draw with their Ghanaian counterparts at the capacity-filled Baba Yara Stadium in Kumasi. Nigeria will need an outright win to qualify for the World Cup finals at the MKO Abiola National Stadium in Abuja. An Italian Football Federation President Gabriele Gravina has backed coach Roberto Mancini to continue in his role despite the team failing to qualify for this year's World Cup in Qatar. Gravina hopes Mancini can shake off the disappointment of elimination, just like all Italians, and remain in charge to continue the good work he has done. Italy missed out on football's global showpiece again after they suffered a 1-0 defeat at home to North Macedonia in Thursday's playoff semi-final. The Azzurri won the European Championship in July 2021, but the team have crashed back to earth after missing out on the World Cup finals for the second time running. And the main news again. Today, the All Progressives Congress APC is currently selecting another set of its National Working Committee with over 7,000 delegates at the convention ground in Abuja, electing the new leadership. And that's your Bridge News at 10 for tonight, everyone. Thank you for watching. I'm Kairo Kikiolu. Good night.